Hello everyone, my name is Ken. I'm also known as the Phoenix. Welcome back to my channel. Today's been a weird day. A very weird day. I'm recording this on a Sunday, and at 45 degrees is what the weather was at. Granted there was high wind, but we had snow. At 45 degrees on a 45 degree day, there was snow. Like, what? What is that? What is that? Things are getting very, very weird around here, and one of the things that I've noticed is the snow, because it always was kind of pounded into our heads that it doesn't snow unless it's 32 degrees or below outside. And now I have seen it snow anywhere between 35. And granted, I was like, that's within 3 degrees, it could just be a reading. And now I've seen it at 45 degrees snowing. And I'm just like, it seems strange. My wife tried to tell me, there's a totally rational scientific explanation for this. It's something with really high atmospheric winds, right? And I'm just like, but it would melt. It would melt by the time it floated all the way down from the upper atmosphere down. It definitely could just melt into a raindrop at that point. So that was a very strange occurrence that I saw happen today. And yeah, just things are putting me a little bit on edge. But that's okay. That is neither here nor there. Gotta keep positive. Gotta keep the good fight going, so they say. And I wanted to touch base with that and just say it was really weird, because there's something I want to talk about. And that is the paranormal activity that I've been having. I mentioned this before in the mission statement video, where I was like, kind of haphazardly going over what I was going to provide for you guys. And one thing that I'm really going to focus on here in the next month is sharing more of that stuff with you, because that is my plan overall. And one of my major focuses is in the beginning of April. I will be going back to my hometown, and I will be doing a documentary over the paranormal activity that I faced, the paranormal activity that some of my family members have also faced. I won't promise that I have access to all of the houses that I had paranormal activity in, but 3 of the 4 houses we lived in my hometown, I had experiences. But the good news is that my father still lives in the house where predominantly most of the paranormal activity I suffered had. So he still lives there, so I'll have access to it. I'll be able to go around, show you all what happened, where it happened, and then ultimately that is just my thing, is that I just want to tell you guys that you are in control. I said that before, I'll say it again, you are in control. And I really want to drive home the fact that these entities are really nothing to fear once you starve them of that fear, which is why they keep after you. If you exude negativity, it will attract them. They will then show up, start running amok, and try to fill you with fear, because that fear is what feeds them. And if you keep giving it to them, then they'll grow stronger. If you ignore them or you do things to make yourself feel better, they will try to prevent you, right? And I've said it before, I'll say it again. They might be able to physically attack you, to scratch you, to hurt you, but toddlers can do the same thing, right? Toddlers can grip and pinch and scratch, and ultimately it's not going to kill you. So when you're trying to better yourself, just understand, it can be kind of weird, but under the guise of everything is energy. It's not too far out there. It's not too far-fetched. And just because they exist doesn't mean that they can take dominion over your body, right? It's just not because they exist that they can possess you. Nothing can take you over without your permission of it. Now, one thing about that is fear. If you fear something, There's just something psychologically like embedded in that I fear this thing because it exists, and because you fear it, you perceive it as so much stronger, and that in a way is permission, is granting it permission, because if you truly believe that you do not have the ability to stop it, then it can just take you over. So don't do that. Understand what you are, learn to say no, and just be like, yeah, I acknowledge your presence, but I'm not scared of you. And eventually it will go away. But with that being said, and getting really deep down and nitty gritty, there are two things that I want to talk to you about. Because in this place that we currently live, we have had multiple experiences. And the first one I'm going to share is right down that hallway. Right down that hallway, I was sitting right here on the couch, and one day, just, from the left side here, I saw something about midway up, just like right there from that doorway at the end of the hall. That is our bedroom. And I saw a black head just slowly creep out from that side. And then, like, when I was watching the TV, I was not watching there, I was just watching that TV. And then once I didn't take my eyes off it, so I saw it peek out, and then it really quickly pulled back in. And I just kind of was like, okay, I know I definitely saw that. But even more so down that hallway, I have seen more things. I saw like a giant fleshy mass, like with appendages that were like angled weird, just crawl silently across the floor, like real quick in a flash. It was like the size of a mid-sized dog, and I'm staring right down there, and I'm imagining how I saw it just cross left to right and into the bathroom that we have down there. We have a cat, Oliver, who will meow at something. It will regularly chase this thing down the hallway to our bathroom and just start meowing constantly at the wall. And then we hear, I'm going to take you into the kitchen, because we hear lots of stuff shift around in here all the time when there's nothing in here really to happen. I had one experience. We have this bar right here, and while we have all these nice fruits and veggies, we had something that just had a flat base. It was similar to this thing here. It was similar, but it was not this. But if you can imagine just the circle, and imagine this being one solid piece, and then this being another just solid piece. It was sitting right here, and then it got knocked over, and I was here alone for lunch one day. The cats were here, of course, but they were sleeping, as they often do. Any cat owner knows that most cats during the day sleep. Majority. If they're not sleeping, they're getting into stuff. But I was at the table, and they were sleeping. They were not there. And I just heard it fall over on its own. And it had a wide flat base, so it's not something that can just fall. I don't know, it was so bizarre. And then earlier today, we were both, my wife and I were sitting on the couch, as we do, hanging out. Lena, our cat, was where she is right now. Sleeping, snoozing. Little cutie patootie right there. She was there, and it was my wife and I sitting here, and we heard a noise, and we both thought it was Oliver getting into something in there. And I got up and I walked over, and I searched down this hallway, right? I searched in here. I searched around the kitchen, right in the dining room. I searched everywhere, and we could not find anything. We couldn't find him, and it turns out that he was where he is right now. He's in the bedroom, just laying there, sleeping. Now, you might have heard that noise as I was talking just a second ago, that thump, and you might think that, maybe that it was something like maybe our neighbors. It is an apartment building, of course, so, we do have neighbors, and I can distinguish the noises between what they're making and what the noises of the doors banging around and slamming So it's just one of those things that, I can make that determination. And we both thought that it was Oliver getting into something. We know that sound. And, she's like trying to debunk it, of course. She's like, it was probably just the house creaking, because it was a windy day. And it's like, no, we can hear the creaking of the building, like in the walls. This was different. It sounded like something intelligent trying to sift through or knock something around. So that is what's going on here currently in our home. And weird stuff is happening all around us outside. But don't give in to fear. Just try to stay as positive as you can, because again, while we are surrounded by this darkness, as long as we keep our lights on, nothing can hurt us. I mean, physically, sure, things can hurt, and emotionally things can suck, but so long as we keep our lights on, ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, we can't be hurt, because we are eternal beings having a temporary human experience. And we're here at this time for a reason, and things are going to get very interesting very soon. That's how I feel anyways. But ultimately, I've been advised by Spirit that this year will be the best year of my life. That doesn't mean by any means it will be easy, but hey, I'm already starting off strong and I'm feeling fulfilled. And I just want to thank all of you for being on this journey with me. To everyone who, all the new subscribers that I've had over this past weekend. It really means a lot, as I'm just trying to spread the message of light, love, positivity. Even if I do have a bad day and I do share, frustrations, and I do peek around the veil and show you the dark history that I've had to endure, there's a lot more coming. And I just can't wait to share it all with you. And I hope you will come along with me on this ride. But either way, guys, my name is Ken. I'm also known as the Phoenix. And I will see you next time.